The 2026 NFL Draft has come and gone, and now the Green Bay Packers, under the guidance of General Manager Brian Gutekunst, have added 6 new players to the roster, along with a slew of undrafted free agents. This is an exciting time for any Packers fan, but let's face the reality. Roster building is a relentless, year-round endeavor. The Packers' approach this draft season felt more needs-based rather than simply going for the best available talent. While we can applaud the efforts, it's clear that not every hole has been filled, and there are still glaring needs that must be addressed. So what are those pressing needs? Let's dive in and analyze what's left on the Packers' to-do list. First up, we have the quarterback room. Even after this draft, the Packers could still look to bolster this crucial position. Currently, they have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, but let's be honest, none have proven themselves to meet the standards set by last year's backup, Malik Willis. It's crucial in the NFL to maintain a pipeline of young, talented quarterbacks, and that's a strategy Green Bay should not overlook. Jordan Love has dealt with injuries in recent seasons, which forced Willis into action. The question now is, do the Packers have someone they can trust to step in again should the need arise? I'm not convinced yet. Sure, Desmond Ridder could take a leap forward, but that's a big if. Meanwhile, developmental prospects like Kyle McCord and Kieran Drones may not be ready to contribute just yet. However, I have my eye on Drones. There's potential there, and I'm eager to see what he can bring. Rumors have circulated about the possibility of adding someone like Anthony Richardson post-draft, but let's not get our hopes up too high on that front. Next, let's talk running backs. This isn't a critique of Josh Jacobs, but rather a look toward the future. The reality is 2026 could be Jacobs' last season in Green Bay. Even if it's not, he'll be nearing that dreaded 30-year mark, and we all know how running backs tend to regress at that age. The Packers have a history of moving on a year early rather than late, and it's a strategy that has served them well. Then there's Marshawn Lloyd, who has struggled to stay healthy and prove himself on the field. Chris Brooks is signed for the next 2 seasons, but beyond that, the depth is concerning. The Packers need to keep adding to this position to ensure they're prepared for the future. They're banking on Lloyd breaking out, but if that doesn't happen, this could quickly turn into a major issue. Moving on to the cornerback situation. This is another area where the Packers have made some moves, but relying on rookie cornerbacks is always a gamble. They've addressed the position in the draft, and while Brandon Cisse could step up as one of the better options on the roster, there's still a lot of uncertainty. The addition of Benjamin St-Juste should provide some stability, but I'm not convinced we should rely on Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine as primary boundary corners. If that's the case, the defense could face significant struggles moving forward. A proven veteran on the outside should be a priority, not only for immediate impact, but also for the development of the younger players. In terms of the defensive line, the Packers made notable additions, signing Javon Hargrave to a 2-year deal and drafting Chris McClellan. This should help shore up the interior, particularly against the run, which has been a sore spot in recent seasons. They also have Carl Brooks, Nazir Stackhouse, Warren Brinson, and Devontae Wyatt on roster. However, there are still concerns. Hargrave is 33 years old, and Wyatt has yet to receive an extension. He may not even be sticking around long-term. Stackhouse and Brinson showed promise as rookies, but can we really rely on them yet? If the Packers don't continue to build depth here, they risk repeating last season's issues. Expect Green Bay to look for at least one veteran depth piece before the season kicks off. Finally, the tight end position stands as the most pressing need for the Packers after the draft. Tucker Kraft is still recovering from an ACL tear and hasn't been extended yet, while Luke Musgrave hasn't quite developed into the player fans hoped for when he was drafted in the 2nd round. He too remains unextended. Behind them, Messiah Swinson is currently the 3rd option, and the depth here is concerning. Kraft is likely to receive an extension, but returning from an ACL injury is notoriously challenging, and injuries can strike at any moment. The Packers absolutely need to strengthen this position, and it's likely they will look to add help before or during training camp. To sum up, we've identified tight end as the number 1 remaining need for the Packers following the NFL draft. The organization has made strides, but there's still work to be done as they prepare for the upcoming season. Go Pack Go! Now, let's shift our focus to the next critical topic surrounding the team. The Green Bay Packers are positioning themselves for a serious Super Bowl run. especially after addressing key weaknesses during free agency and the draft. Following that disappointing playoff exit at the hands of the Chicago Bears, the front office, led by Brian Gutekunst, has made some strategic moves. Signing defensive tackle Javon Hargrave and cornerback Benjamin S. to just bolster the roster, and drafting cornerback Brandon Cisse and defensive tackle Chris McClellan shows a commitment to shoring up the defense. Gutekunst himself acknowledged the ongoing pursuit of perfection, stating, "To be honest, I don't know if I ever feel like I've checked every box because I don't know if anything's ever complete." And he's right. There's always room for improvement, especially with the regular season looming just a few months away. Among the areas that could use a boost is the running back position, where the Packers might want to consider adding a solid number 2 option. Sure, Josh Jacobs has proven himself as a workhorse back, only missing 1 game last season. But let's face it, there were times when his knee injury hindered him, and at 28 years old, we need to be mindful of his workload. Losing Emanuel Wilson, who provided valuable contributions, 140 combined rushes and receptions, is a blow. And while Jaden Nixon, an undrafted free agent from Central Florida, brings some intrigue, he's not exactly a proven commodity. If something were to happen to Jacobs, can the likes of Chris Brooks, Marshawn Lloyd, Pierre Strong, Damian Martinez, or Nixon really step up in a meaningful way? Brooks may be an adept pass protector, but there's little evidence that he can take the reins as a primary runner. Lloyd's injury history raises concerns, and while Martinez has potential, he's a bit of a wild card. The Packers could explore trade opportunities with players like Antonio Gibson or Trey Benson if the current group doesn't prove capable. In a league where depth can make or break a season, this is an area that needs careful attention. Then there's the tight end position, where Gutekunst openly expressed the need for a dirty work player. The failed physical of Eni Filai, a promising option, left the Packers with only R.J. Maryland, who is more of a dynamic receiving threat than a traditional blocker. With John Fitzpatrick recovering from a serious Achilles injury, it's critical to find a player who can handle the dirty work in the trenches and contribute significantly in the run game. Marcedes Lewis, the veteran, could be a name to consider here, as his blocking prowess would be invaluable to an offense looking to establish a strong ground game. And speaking of the offensive line, the depth behind the starting 5 is a concern. Darian Kinnard has shown promise, but beyond him, there are major question marks. Jacob Monk and Donovan Jennings are still developing, and John Williams spent his rookie season on injured reserve. The addition of Yeager Burton, who has experience playing both center and guard, is a positive step forward. He seems eager to learn and adapt, but will he be ready to step into a significant role if needed? Looking at the quarterback position, the Packers find themselves in a more realistic scenario compared to last year when they acquired Malik Willis for a song. Desmond Ridder, with his 18 starts under his belt, could provide a competent backup option. The competition is heating up with Kyle McCord and Kieran Drones also in the mix, but the Packers must remain vigilant. Last season's trade for Willis proves that surprises can happen when least expected. Now, while the roster appears strong on paper, it's not without its question marks. For instance, Jordan Morgan at left tackle is unproven, and the overall health of players like Aaron Banks and Zach Tom will be pivotal. The injury setbacks to receivers like Romeo Dew and Dontavian Wicks could open opportunities elsewhere, and the infusion of new talent on the defensive side should provide much-needed depth. Gutekunst has demonstrated a willingness to enhance the roster beyond the draft and free agency. Coach Matt LaFleur's remarks about the ever-evolving nature of the roster show the commitment to adaptability. Things happen in this league. There's some veterans on the street that you could potentially pick up, and we're certainly not out of the trade market ever. This proactive approach bodes well for a team looking to contend. As we continue to analyze the roster, it's clear that there are still several positions that could benefit from additional talent. The upcoming months will be crucial for the Packers, and fans should keep their eyes peeled for any last-minute moves that could push this team over the edge. Now, let's dive into the next item on the agenda. As we wrap up our coverage of the Green Bay Packers rookie minicamp, there's one name that stands out, and it's not just because of his size. Chase Claypool, a former second-round pick by the Steelers, is looking to revive his career with the Packers after a turbulent few seasons. The intrigue surrounding Claypool is palpable. He is a big-bodied receiver who, at 6'4" and 238 pounds, brings a physical presence to the field that could be a game changer for the Packers. But can he convert this opportunity into a legitimate roster spot? Now, Packers fans, where are you watching from? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Chase Claypool's potential impact in Green Bay. Is he the missing piece to our receiving core, or just another name in the mix? Leave your comments below. Claypool's pedigree is hard to ignore. As a rookie, he caught 62 passes for 873 yards and 9 touchdowns, following it up with another solid season where he amassed 59 receptions for 860 yards. However, after a mid-season trade to the Bears in 2022, where he was reportedly sought after by the Packers, his career took a nosedive. The Bears used him sparingly, and he finished last season in Miami with just 4 catches for 26 yards. It's a stark contrast to the promising start he had in the NFL, and now he finds himself at a pivotal crossroads. Coach Matt LaFleur has taken notice of Claypool during the minicamp practices, emphasizing his size and previous production on film. He's been productive, and it looks like he's in great shape, LaFleur stated, highlighting the importance of Claypool's physical attributes in a sport where size and speed can make all the difference. But the question remains, can Claypool recapture that early career magic that made him a coveted asset in the first place? In addition to Claypool, the rookie minicamp featured a host of undrafted players, including quarterback Bauman, who has his own story to tell. Standing at 6'5", Bauman threw for impressive numbers in college and is eager to prove himself. He stated, "I feel like I've earned the right to have the opportunity," which reflects the mentality that these tryout players need to have. They're not just looking for a chance. They're looking to make a statement and leave a mark on the team. Let's not forget about Jacobs, who is the brother of star running back Josh Jacobs. LaFleur pointed out the uncanny resemblance between the two brothers, which adds another layer of intrigue to the minicamp. The Packers are clearly exploring every avenue to enhance their roster, and having players with connections to existing stars can sometimes lead to unexpected breakthroughs. While Claypool's past achievements are noteworthy, it's crucial to remember that he hasn't played in a meaningful game in 2 years. The Packers coaching staff has a tough decision ahead. Will they take a chance on Claypool, hoping he can regain his form, or will they look for more reliable options? The stakes are high, and so is the anticipation among fans eager to see how the roster shapes up as we head into the next phase of the offseason. As we close this segment on the Green Bay Packers rookie minicamp, it's clear that there are exciting possibilities on the horizon. The addition of players like Claypool could provide the spark needed to elevate this team back into playoff contention. However, it will take more than just potential. It requires hard work, consistency, and the right fit within the team's culture. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and up-to-date news on the Packers. Your opinions matter, so let us know what you think about Chase Claypool's future with the team. Will he rise to the occasion, or will he remain a footnote in the Packers' storied history? Your insights are valuable, and we look forward to hearing from you.